this is Noreen from Joya Cards, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Yay! For more of my Stampin' Up! Card videos, please click that subscribe button, and there's a little bell, and if you click that, then you're notified when my videos come up. So I am frantically now doing more Christmas card videos because I've got 3 more sets left, and it's the end of November, so I got to get them out before, that time has passed. So I'm going to be doing quite a few videos the next week, and then I'm out of town for a week. But anyway, so this one is trimming the tree, and look at the beautiful card I made. Isn't that beautiful? I love that red and white glimmer paper. It's amazing. So this set is really kind of interesting. The stamp set itself is in the annual catalog. It's on page 43, and I'm going, why did I buy this from the annual catalog? And it's because because the tree trimming dies are not here. And it's like, well, what happened? And I thought, well, maybe they're in the mini catalog, but they're not in this catalog either. What it is, I think, and if you know, because most of my subscribers are demonstrators anyway, but I think what happened is during the last celebration, they ran out of stuff and they started giving you other things from the catalog or not from the catalog. I don't know. So this came, and these dies, and I have them on my magnet sheets here. Boop. And these are the Stampin' Storage ones. If you go to the description of my video, there's a link to get these magnets. I am an Amazon affiliate, so it helps out my little tiny business, and it helps me make a little money off of Amazon because they have way too much money. Anyway, so, and I know that this must have been like that celebration thing, because look at the part number on the dies. So I keep the envelopes, I just flip over the top and I stick the magnet in here, and that's how I keep them. But this 160256, that is a number that's new. And these dies aren't new, I don't think, because they have an alternate number. This 158972, this you can still buy online. It's in stock. So if you have this and you don't have the dies, get it now because they'll go away. So it's 158972. This is the old, like I said, the celebration when they ran out. They gave it another number because I got this one for free. And this die set is 28 dies. It's like crazy. And let me show you how everything kind of stamps and cuts out. So the stamp is nice. It does really well. There are no issues with it. You've got ornaments, you got a star, you got something for the tree here, some other decor. You've got this stamp right here actually stamps into the tree, but you stamp it twice. One for one side and one for the other side. You line them up in the holes. It's kind of neat. And then you got a pot and bows, and then you got a bunch of sentiments. And then here are how the dies cut out here. So you've got your Christmas tree, and this is the one that you can pull out the little tabby things on them both here. And then you got 3 sentiment tags, and you've got the pots, and you've got a little die that just makes these little like dots for, like, I guess snow or something. You got bows, you got stars, you got ornaments, and there are duplicates. So the stars are all the same, the ornaments, the bows, these bows here, they're all the same. And then they also layer. So the tree, of course, you can stamp it and cut it out. This one here, and I left it inside, this one you can do just an etching and then put an ink over it. Then the pot, the stars, the ornaments, the bows, and this here. So they all print out like really nice. Now the sentiment tags are interesting because this sentiment tag will fit these 2 sentiments here and these 2 sentiment here. See how they're going different directions? So portrait, landscape, and then this will fit both peace and joy and happy holidays, and the little one only does peace and joy. So this is a really good sentiment die. So if you're looking for sentiment dies, this is it. Now let's make this card, because I did do a couple of tricks in here like I always do. So we're going to start out with 5.5 by 4.25 shaded spruce card base. So I've got one right here, and then that red and white shimmer paper or glimmer paper, excuse me, and you want that 5.5 by 4.25. So you want it to cover the entire card front here. And then out of, and I haven't used this paper at all, the Lights Aglow. I love this paper here. It's awesome, and it looks really good behind the red Glimmer paper. So this is going to be 4 by 5 1/4. And then I want you to grab a piece of the red Glimmer paper. Now, how I made this design here is, of course, the candy cane dies. So you definitely want to cut this first. Don't like try to do it backwards. So this has to be 4 by 5 1/4. And then we're going to line this up here. And I'm going to emphasize the fact that I love my delicate frog tape. You have to use the yellow one. The yellow one's great. And I can use this a million times over. Look how much it is. This will take me like forever, and I cut all the time. You can reposition it. You can use it over. It is tape, you know, don't rip it off like crazy, but this is the best I've ever found. And then I'm going to take a piece of that delicate frog tape and tape this die because I don't want it to move because it's going to leave a little edge. So I'm going to go cut that, and I'll be right back. So here I've got my die. I'm going to take off my delicate frog tape. And I also have an Amazon link, if you go to the description of my video, for this frog tape. So you can get it from Amazon, and it magically shows up at your house. And then I'm just going to take out all the little pieces here, and you'll get this background. So I'm going to remove all this, and I'll be right back. So let's start snailing this down. So I'm going to take the white Glimmer paper, and I'm going to line it up, and it's going to cover the whole base of the card. And then I'm going to take the Lights Aglow, and I almost did snail, but you can't do snail on this because this kind of glittery kind of paper does not like snail. It does not like glue. You really have to tear tape it. So I'm going to put some tear tape all over this. So I'll be right back. I got my tear tape all over, and now I'm just going to place that in the middle like that. Now I'm going to go back to my snail, and usually I don't snail anything that has lots of little openings because it'll stick to your envelope. But since we've got this pretty raised up, we're not going to have that issue. So I'm just going to snail the outsides here and some in the middle, and then I'm going to line it up right over the top of the Lights Aglow, just like that. Now I'm going to tease you a little bit. So we're going to go to the inside, and I'm going to take a piece of that white Glimmer paper, and I'm going to build this up. But before I do that, I'm actually going to take the 3rd and the 4th largest rectangle stitched frame, and I'm going to cut out the middle. Actually, I can just take the 3rd one. I don't even need the 4th one. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to cut out this this beautiful paper, because why waste it under other stuff that nobody else sees? So I'm going to cut out this one, and I'm going to cut out this one, and I will be right back. So this is the 3rd largest rectangle stitched frame, and I cut this one out. And before I send you to cut away, you do actually need the 4th largest one and cut out this one because this one is so much smaller. So I'm going to put this one in the middle and cut it out. And by the way, this is 5 1/4 by 4. This is 3.75 by 5. And this one is 3.5 by 4.75. All the dimensions are in the description of the video, so don't frantically write down and take my word for it, because, you know, I'm a little whatever. It's getting close to being crazy time. So I'm going to cut this one out and be right back. So now we've got that one down. Now I'm going to take that tear tape again, because what? Glitter doesn't like glue. It doesn't like tape, but we can tear tape it. So I'm going to go ahead and put on some tear tape here. And so I took the tear tape stuff off there, and I'm going to put this in the middle. And before you put on your sentiment piece here, we always stamp first. So the sentiment we're going to use is right there. And I know I normally never put in sentiments in my cards, but Christmas cards are different. As long as they're generic, I'll do it, totally. So we're going to be using Real Red, and I don't have to use a Stampin' Pad because of my glass. So I don't need to do that. And then I also cut out 3 little ornaments. And they were nice to us to give us an ornament in one die, 3 in 1. And I believe there's 2 of them. So there you go. And I already cut those out. So I'm going to take my silicone craft sheet and I'm going to turn these little things over and make sure you got all the hanging chads off. So I just gave away my age. That's okay. I'm old. And I'm going to turn those over. Actually, I'm going to grab my tweezers here. And these tweezers are from that Embossing Editions toolkit, which is awesome. And then the fine tip glue. I only use this glue. I hate the other glues. I don't like using glue. And you can do it a couple ways. You can just put it on here, dot it on here, or you can make a little puddle like that and just dip it in there. Either way is fine. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to do this one here. Then take the other one and I'm going to dip it. And I didn't make a big enough dipping pile, so I'll just dot it on. And this one goes here. And what's great about the tweezers is I can really put it where I want it rather than if I'm using my finger. And just put some more on here and put this right in the middle like so. Now we're just going to snail it in the middle here because it doesn't like that glitter anyway, and just put it over the top. So look, I was able to save this from just cutting it out. So, and this stuff is, you know, but anyway. So now let's do the front. The first thing we're going to do is a sentiment tag. So I've been using a lot are these foam adhesive sheets. They're awesome. They're way better than dimensionals. They're a bit taller. They're double-sided stick. And these things are amazing. And you can do them two ways. One, you can, like what I've done here is I put that white glitter paper on top. So you take off the top piece and you stick this on, you know, you measure it and then you have a piece. And that's what we're going to do. Or you can just cut it, you know, cut out your piece and do it the other way. But this actually is a better way to do it. So the other thing about this glitter paper is it embosses beautifully. I just did another card. I'll show you here. Hold on. Here's my other video I just did. And look, the Merry Christmas in that black is just, I mean, it just embosses beautifully. And a lot of times when you've got really tiny print like this one, it's really thin print, it won't do well, but it did really, really well. So let's get out our Versamark stuff. So I'm going to be using this die, and I've already got that shimmer white paper on top. I stuck it on top of the foam adhesive sheet. I'm going to put that to the side, and we're going to Versamark that Peace and Joy, and we're going to be doing it in the gold embossing powder. All of the supplies that I'm using for this card is in the description of my video. So next to the title, the little arrow down or the show more, click, 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 and everything will pop up. Even like the glass to in all my videos that I use, that's on one of the Amazon links. So there's two ways to shop, the Amazon links and Stampin' Up. Stampin' Up will go directly to my joyacards.stampinup.net, and the Amazon link will go to like other things that I use in my videos, like the magnets. I use the big paper holders that keep all your papers organized in both the small ones and the larger ones. And even if you click on it on one of my Amazon links and get out, it actually does help me because it will know that you clicked on me last, and anything you order on Amazon for like 24 hours, my little tiny business will get a little credit and take it away from the Amazon monster that we all hate and love all at the same time. Anyway, so we're going to be taking the gold embossing powder. So let's get our Versamark out, and we're going to do Peace and Joy, which is from the set. And I'm going to Versamark it, and I'm going to put it right in the middle of that Glimmer paper right there. Put the lid back on my Versamark before I dry it out. And then I'm going to take my gold embossing powder. Now, this tray came with this. Oh, I forgot to do my embossing buddy. Oh, it should be okay. But it comes with an embossing buddy, this, and a brush to wipe everything off. And I just love it to death. Anyway, so let's see if I'm a good girl and it works without me doing my embossing buddy. Yep, it's fine. So, and look, there's a little bit of powder here. I could take my brush and I can just wipe it off, and it comes with the little thing, and it's really cool. So I'm going to put this to the side. Now I also have on the side here, you can't see it, is my Totally Tiffany embossing station stand. So I'm going to turn on my gun. Let's see what you can see. So you can't see a lot. So here's the little tray that holds it. And here, I'll do it on the side. See, like that? So it looks like that. So I've heated up my gun here a little bit because you don't want to just put it on right as you, turn it on. You want it to heat up. And that's why that stand, see, I can put it down and I can let it heat up for a minute. And then I can also use like this little clipboard and clip it like so. And then I can keep my hands away from my piece if I wanted to. So it's all warmed up and I'm going to go ahead and emboss my piece and joy. And I'm going to make sure that it's okay. You can kind of tell in the light and boom, we're done. And that turned out really good. Now I'm going to take that die and I am going to tape that die onto here. And since it's that Glimmer paper, I'm going to tape it twice. In fact, when I did this, I taped it on both ends, so it's not going to move. So I'm going to go ahead and die cut this out. So I ran it through the machine a few times because this is thick. So I'm going to take off my my delicate frog tape and reuse that again, put that back on my magnet and look at that. So I'm going to hold this for the moment until we get the tree going. Now let's do the tree. So I'm going to take garden green and granny apple green. So garden green, I'm going to use the bigger, the actual tree, and I'm going to ink it up and go ahead and stamp it out. And then I'm going to take granny apple green, and this is an interesting stamp because you stamp it twice. So on one side you're going to line it up into the holes here. Just take a second and they line up on one side, and then take it again and you're going to go to the other side and just kind of line up the holes. My head might be in the camera, sorry about that, and line it up just like that. Now I'm going to do something a little funny, and there is a point to it. I'm going to take the light strand here. So I'm going to take that stamp and real red. But I'm not using this because I want it to show up. I'm actually using it as a template to put on the real red rhinestones. So you can't really see it. It kind of, that green just kind of eats it up. But we're going to decorate that. So stay tuned. Now grab your tree die and line that puppy up real good. Just take an extra second and just kind of line it up and use that delicate frog tape and put it on there. I use this because I used to use washi tape, and I have a brother scan and cut, and I was using the washi tape, and then one day the washi tape came off and went around the drum of my brother scan and cut. And I thought I ruined a $300 machine. But 6 months later, it worked its way out. And boy, I've been scared of washi tape ever since because there's so much and they change it so often. You don't know how sticky it is. And they used to have this really good blue tape, and they changed it. And then they have this tape here, and it's terrible. They changed something about it. So I had the delicate frog tape from painting my kitchen cabinets against the wood on the cabinets, and I started using it and went, holy cow, this is great. So I'm going to cut this and I'll be right back. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this right out, and there's our tree. Now I'm going to show you the other way to use the foam adhesive sheets. Now, when we cut this one out, I had already put that Glimmer paper on that foam adhesive sheet, and then I cut it out. I did all that stuff like that. But you can do it the opposite way. And this is a pretty big piece, so it's not going to be too bad. So what you're going to do is going to take that same die and go ahead and cut on the foam adhesive sheet. So I cut this out. I'm going to put my die back on my magnet. That's how you keep 26 dies all together. Always put it back on your magnet. Otherwise, it'll be lost on your desk and you'll be sad. Anyway, so now I've got this foam adhesive sheet. I'm going to take off the top layer here and very meticulously line it up. So I'm going to go really, really slow. And I'm starting with the one side and working down. And that worked out. I got lucky. So there you go. Now we're going to make these ornaments. So there are 4 ornaments here, and we've got 2 dies that are exactly the same. And we're going to do both of them, and we're going to be using gold foil. Now here's those folders that I have on my Amazon link. These are great because I can keep little pieces of scrap like this, because you always use scrap. And I'm going to go ahead and die cut these out. So I cut out, I've got 6 ornaments here. We only are going to use 4. So you're going to take your pick tool and you're going to pop out the middle. So I'm going to pop out 4 of the ornaments middles, and I'll be right back. Now you're going to grab those ornaments again, and we're going to die cut, because if you look at my ornaments, they're backed. So we're going to do a little tricky poo, so cut 6 more out. I put my dies back on my magnet, because those are tiny, tiny little dies. And I still have them on my beautiful bottom plate. Notice that. I use this to death. And then what I'll do when this one is just really, really, really bad, that I'll take my top plate and then I'll make that my bottom plate, and then I'll grab a brand new plate. So I'm not going through as many plates. So anyway, so I've got my 4 ornaments that I chose. So I'm going to take one of the ornaments off my tray. Now I ran it through a couple of times because I really wanted to sink the cut into the die, and there's a reason for it. So I'm going to take my tweezers here, and I'm going to take the corresponding ornament and lay the red one on top of the gold one, and then I'm going to take my take your pick tool, and I'm going to push its innards into that hole, and this makes it really fast. So look at that. And then I'm going to whoopsie flip it over without pulling the thing out, hopefully. So I flipped it over, and I'm going to take some snail, and I'm just going to snail it down just so it's a little more sticky. And I'm going to come over, and I'm not going to put it on yet, but I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of these. So grab one of these, and I'm going to grab a corresponding ornament, bring it over, do it again, put it right on top. Take your pick tool, get it right over that corresponding hole, and push them in. And then push in that bottom one. Cool. Then pull that off, and then try to flip it over without pulling it out, which doesn't always work. And I'm going to snail that down, holding in those little pieces if you can. I'm going to do 2 more of these ornaments, and I'll be right back. Okay, one last thing to cut is one of the stars. They give you 5 of them, so, go ahead and take that gold foil again and cut it out. Now let's start getting this put together. I'm going to grab my red rhinestone basic jewels. I love these, and some mini dimensionals. Okay, first let's go ahead and kind of line it up on the card here. None of the tape's off yet, so it's not sticky. And just see where you want to put it. Okay, and go ahead and pull off the back and place it down. So that's 1. And let's take this one off and place it down. And that's 2. Now let's decorate. Let's start with the rhinestones. Now, the reason why I put the lights up, and you can't really see it, is just to give me a guide for the jewels. So I know where to follow and how many to really put on. So I'm going to go ahead and follow that line. So it's like I stamped it, but I didn't. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. So I've got all the rhinestones on there. Now I'm going to do another little kind of cool thing. If anybody has a paper pumpkin subscription, you get these little thin glue dots in them, and they are amazing. I'm surprised Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell these. What's great about it is a glue dot, but isn't like the thickness of a glue dot, and they're really tiny. And they're amazing to hold on things that are actually kind of heavy. So I'm going to use these. If you don't have these, then you can use a glue dot, or you can just snail it. But I'm going to put these down where I'm going to put my ornament. So, and they have the little paper just like a glue dot. So I'm going to pull off the papers. So the glue dots are down, and I'm going to pick up an ornament, and I'm going to put it right on top and work my way down. So I'm going to put that one there. I have to kind of look for the glue dots because they kind of hide. And then try not to lose your middle. I'm even using the little rubbery end to my take your pick tool and using that as well. And the last thing we've got left is the gold star. So I'm going to use mini dimensionals, and I'm going to put 2 on there. So I'm going to put 1 and take the tape off, and then match the second one up and put it on top. And then I'm going to position how I want the star. And there we go. And that's the card. And if you like it, please like and subscribe. And if you want to see all the other, I've been doing Christmas cards since July. I've got a million Christmas cards. So if you're looking for ideas, and I do have to confess, this is shaded spruce and granny apple green. And this one is garden green and granny apple green. I switched during the middle thinking this was the wrong color, but so you can choose here. I think it looks better with the shaded spruce, but there you go. That'll do it for me. Thanks. Bye.